they had to settle for $9 million because they were manipulating drop rates of equipment within their game and they didn't let the consumers know.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
raked over
crazy.
$420 million over 10 years, but only got fined $9 million. That is nothing
Right.
compared to what they made. I don't love the game, and I don't
First off,
hate it either.
man, can we even like bring into what we're talking about? People just gonna click on something?
They got the thumbnail. They can read.
Okay, whatever. What
They
game
can
are you talking about? Are you talking First Descendant? What are we talking about?
Second
obviously the
Descendant.
first Descendant.
Here
First
we
Descendant.
go.
Yeah, I do not love the game and I do not hate it. It has some good elements to it that I can see myself sinking a lot of time into, but I just don't know. I feel like a lot of the systems that are shown are taking inspiration from like Destiny. That's obviously the biggest inspiration that the game is pulling from. Um, yeah, what do you guys think?
Has
Uh,
X played it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Like 8
Hey,
hours, dude.
my boy.
I don't play many games like this, and I don't really play many looter shooters. Period. But from what I'm seeing, it's people are saying it's like a combo of like Warframe and Destiny, and I didn't. I've tried getting into both, and I never did. So, but that was ages ago. I'm sure the like beginning area has changed for those. So.
yes. Don't go off on a tangent. I know what you want to do.
I'm
But
not gonna do anything.
I was about
I'm
to say
not
'cause
gonna do
that's gonna be
anything.
like a 10-minute tangent.
No, not at all. You know what though? I don't. Actually, I was just playing it before we
X, turn
jumped
your
on
game
here.
down a little bit. Sorry. Yeah,
To
there
be
you go.
honest with you, it's not bad. I really like the weaponry in the game, like just some high points to it. I like the weaponry in the game. I like the special abilities and the way they actually function over something like Warframe. Even though I know we were playing it a little bit, it's way more user friendly than like a Warframe is, where
Absolutely, it is.
it's just like, holy shit, man, I got to do 12. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing quests and stuff like that, but I got to do 12 quests to unlock another quest to do something to get a quest to do something else. It's like, Jesus Christ, can you just give me one thing and like let me work on that? That's why I kind of like the way this is set up, where the missions hit the map, knock them out, go to next area. Next map, knock it out, go to the next area. I really
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, it's clearly guided. Um, even though they do give you that grocery list on the side of your screen to make sure you're staying focused.
But that's okay though.
Y- yeah, that's fine. It gave me this impression like if I were to go ahead and sink time in, it would be like I'd put a podcast in my ear and just go at it and knock the objectives out.
Oh
Or
yeah.
it's just something to like play with your friends. Like it's easy just to jump into and get something done. Um, what do you guys think about just like the core gameplay? Um, I thought that the main thing that's gonna keep me playing is the gunplay, which I
Yeah,
absolutely
I agree.
like.
I
It's
like it.
snappy.
Mhm.
The guns sound great. They sound nice to shoot. Also, any gun that I unlocked, I was always looking at the picture. I'm like, this gun looks interesting. Like, and I
Right,
actually
yeah.
grinded to try and get each one or try to unlock um, every gun that was listed under that objective. I
Mhm.
also like the fact that they have like the percentage chance of you unlocking the weapon.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
always nice to see. My God. If you've
Division,
ever
pain in the ass.
Division, Xenoverse, anything that's RNG
God.
related, please, for the love of God, implement that system into future iterations because that just makes it.
You know,
Uh,
It sets expectations for
exactly.
how
That's what I was
long you'll
gonna
have to
say.
grind for something.
Right.
I'm gonna have a double-sided opinion on this, and I know we haven't talked about it yet, but I like in Warframe how I can buy a frame, right? Like because of how much you have to grind into it, but I also like the fact that I can't really. I mean, I can. I just don't want to spend that much money. That I don't have to just go off and just buy a new Descendant. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind the grind, and maybe that's why Warframe is kind of appealing because you can go right to whatever frame you want and then just kind of level it up as you go. But getting back into the Descendant, like I actually like Ajax, to be honest with you. I like the design, the way he plays. Like I don't mind leveling that character up versus giving me three characters I got to choose from and just having to deal with it. If
Well,
that
you can
makes sense.
buy other
No, no,
ones.
no. I know you can. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I know you can, but I don't feel the need to have to go buy a new Descendant. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
So you're saying you like the starters? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
like I actually don't mind the starters, like
Okay.
because I know
Yeah,
we
I
were playing
agree.
Warframe, and I was like, well, screw this. If I could just buy the one I want, then let me just go do that, and then I can play it outright. I don't feel like I have to do that with this game, which I do like.
All right. And speaking of characters, I feel like each one is so unique that it adds a different gameplay experience.
Oh yeah.
So if you were to like just yes, this is like a mammoth size like grind that you're going to be doing, but at least you have like a guided uh there's a system that's guiding you between like all these characters and all these objectives to unlock certain weapons. It's clearly
Yeah.
a lot. You're going to sink a lot of hours into this game.
And you know
Um,
what? I actually think they're kind of generous. Now that I jumped on Warframe, not to harp on that, but to see how much weaponry and loot you get that they drop in this game.
Yeah, that too.
Good
And
lord.
I also like the fact that, yeah, what I was saying, Warframe doesn't, from what I can see, I don't get to see what kind of weapons I'm going to unlock after this mission. Also, let's just talk about how, yeah, you going back to user friendly. Warframe is not user friendly for new players whatsoever. Um, they just throw you into just nonsense. People in the chat talking about I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, it's just words I can't pronounce nor understand. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to figure like what obviously I don't like the microtransactions, but I'm trying to get back to like certain aspects of the gameplay that I didn't like. Oh, the enemies. There's a major difference between like going it through and doing like these different objectives, like capture this point or just clear the wave of enemies. That was getting kind of boring to me. Also because the enemies act more like hordes instead of like actual AI that's trying to like flank you, trying to be strategic about how they're pushing you, similar to how the AI reacts in the Division. I found myself extremely bored after just shooting like between these two like cargo boxes and just funneling the enemies through there.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, that just gets repetitive, and I'm already burnt out. Or is there anything that you
Twitter.
guys like just did not like?
The only thing, well, let me just go and say a couple things I liked. I did like the gunplay. I did like how when you're joining missions, it'll like teleport you to where people are.
Yeah, I
Yep.
like that
For
too.
I like that too.
Co-op missions. I did not like, in that same vein, it doesn't seem like they balance groups. So if you have like a level 40 and max level in the group with you, they can like just shred the mission, and I'm just walking along, kind of following them like a little child instead of actually contributing to.
Yeah, because you talking about like one guy's like just extremely overpowered, just clearing waves before you
Yes,
even
I
get a
didn't do
chance.
anything. I literally walked, and he was so far ahead of me, it kept teleporting me to him, and he was killing everything, and I was
God.
just trying to keep up.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've never experienced that where it
That was
just
only-
teleports me.
That was only one mission.
Okay.
So, but because it happened, I'm going to mention it. So, otherwise, no, I really like that it teleports you to. It's really, they make it really easy to drop in on missions.
Yeah, I like that. Also, how was your experience like playing on PC?
Oh, it was fun. I know some people
Okay.
had server issues, but I didn't jump in right when it launched. I waited a bit, and I have not had any issues personally. So,
Yeah, it's beautiful. It looks great on PC.
yeah, I think
as
it does
far
look
as, you
good.
know. Yeah, I was trying to get Ghost to download it on PC. I was like,
Nah.
PlayStation 5.
Man, always trying to
You're
bully me
doing
into
it.
stuff. No, I'm not.
The PlayStation 5 was having a bunch of stutters, frame rate drops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it made me get off. I was like, you know what, I need to, if I'm gonna be bored and if I'm gonna make myself play this, I may as well play it on a machine that can run it efficiently. So I downloaded it on my PC and had a way better experience there.
Okay.
If I'm gonna suffer, I need to do it in 60 frames or
Oh
higher.
my gosh. I'll
Uh,
say one thing I didn't like was I felt like some of the ranged character abilities were too short range. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Like
know
I
what you're
had
talking about.
Yessa as my starter, and she has like a ice attack, a range. She has a couple of ranged ice attacks, but I felt like you had to be pretty freaking close for them to actually hit. So it wasn't really range; it was more like a extended melee or something, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be able to shoot, and if I'm going to shoot like whatever it is, an icicle, a ray, a beam, I want it to go as far as I can see. I
Yeah,
don't want it to
yeah.
dissipate like 30 feet in front of me. There were just a
Yeah, I
couple
get-
abilities that did that, and then there were others that didn't. Like Bunny's ray shoots really far.
Oh,
First
really?
off, she's hella fast.
Yeah, she's very fast.
Yeah. You can cross the battlefield really quickly with Bunny.
Yeah,
Like it's it is ridiculous. But I like the fact that also while she's running, she's charging energy.
yeah,
And
Mhm.
like when you use her special, it uses the energy she's built up first, and then it goes into like the other bar. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I enjoyed using her. Other characters will use her for other reasons. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. Give me one sec.
okay. Now, I'd say overall, I mean, I don't want to do closing arguments immediately. I don't know how close we are or how long this is going to be, but I'd say for a free game, I had a good time. I only played 8 hours, but I'm definitely willing to I could see myself playing upwards of like 20, 25 hours and still being fine.
It really just kind of depends on what you're tempering your expectations to be like when you get in there. Just get
Right.
on, hammer it out, do a couple missions with the boys or whatever.
Just play until you're
I
bored.
got off work today. Yeah, I literally got off work today. Obviously just having a day. I put on a podcast, I hammered out a section, and then I jumped on here. Looking at it that way, I had way more fun than me jumping on when it first released and being like, okay, shit, I got to do all of this to get that and
Right,
go over
trying
here
to-
and do this.
Trying to
Yeah,
rush
I have.
everything.
Yeah, I had way more fun just kind of looking at this and going, okay, let me hammer out a mission, see how I feel. Well, not gonna lie, I definitely did a research weapon, so I wanted to try that out. So maybe I was having just a little more fun because I got something special.
Right. But no, I enjoyed it. I don't have the background in other games like it to compare it to, and I think that might be good or bad. Like good in some ways because I won't like potentially unfairly criticize it, but I don't know.
I'll
Matt,
say-
what are
I
y'all
enjoyed it.
discussing?
I'll
Okay.
say when I first tried it, my opinion of it changed
Oh really?
for the better when I first played it. I was kind of skeptical, kind of put off by it a little bit, but then getting away from it, trying another game in the genre, then coming back to it, it's really not that bad. Like you said, I don't think I'm going to drop full on game sessions on my day off on it, but to hop on with you guys, knock out a couple missions and kind of keep that pace, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it grew on me. That first time I experienced it, absolutely not. I was not feeling it whatsoever. But I don't know. Even today, I caught myself just thinking about it, like just wondering how
Could
many
I hop
different
back
other
up there
weapons are
and
out there.
grind a couple more missions?
Right. Just seeing if it got better the longer I stayed in there, because some games I feel like I got the same way with the Division. It didn't really hit for me the first time that I played. I think afterward I got into it, learned how the systems worked, everything started to fall in place. But yeah, I see this game having a long stay. I feel it'll have a very loyal fan base as well, because it's definitely not like a lazy development team whatsoever. Like they put some time and effort into this game. I was just looking at like the animations that play while you're switching characters. They're really well done.
How do you
But-
feel about the story so far?
I tell you what, I did not pay attention to the story
Nope,
whatsoever.
sure didn't.
I skipped
I
past
tried
it.
to. It is moderately interesting, but I mean, it's I think the nature of the whole grinding missions, they even the story is a little bit repetitive. Like there were some parts in the story where it's like, oh, we need this data, and then you go there and they're like, oh, the data's not here, or the news signal popped up over here, let's go here. And then we go there, they're like, oh, there's trace amounts of the data here, but we have
Oh
to go
God.
somewhere else to get the rest. I'm like, okay, I get it.
But it's not compelling
Right,
whatsoever.
yeah.
Just to wrap up, because I didn't finish the bugs that people have been reporting. People have also paid for items that haven't been delivered to them. If you bought those items between July 2nd and 4th, those items will be canceled. Also, players were kind of concerned about Nexon collecting personal data and their sharing policy. And Nexon said it's required to track what players are doing in the game so they know how to improve it. But the producers said they don't use your personal data, but they just use the nicknames that you choose in the game. So,
Oh no,
We'll
that's
see
my
if
real
that's-
name and social security number.
my God. Oh my.
No.
I also want to remind people that this company is also the same company that made Maple Story.
Oh yeah.
And they had to settle for $9 million because they were manipulating drop rates of equipment within their game, and they didn't let the consumers know.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
raked over
crazy.
$420 million over 10 years, but only got fined $9 million. That is nothing compared
Right.
to what they made.
It's like, oh no, now we only made 410. Oh.
Right. Like that does nothing, dude. Oh, like I said, continue to play the game, love it for what it is, but don't be surprised when something like this happens in about 5 years.
I like it that they have the percentages for each drop as long as they're
Yes.
accurate and they're not trying to lie.
Oh
to you.
yeah, exactly. You know somebody's testing that already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, just a little bit thing, the microtransactions in this game. I know it's a free-to-play game, but my God, every aspect has $1 attached to it.
No,
So the
the
premium
problem is it's
Enjoy
not,
it.
The problem is it's not $1. It's a freaking whatever premium currency.
Caliber.
I'd rather it just be $1 than I can just get what I want instead of the thing we probably
you're not
talked
doing
about
that.
in the past where it's like
Yes,
it's
right
600
to the threshold.
it's 600 caliber for this and you get 520 caliber for I don't know how much it was, $5 or whatever.
Yep. But the character costs $600.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to
exactly.
pay
You have to
$10 to.
Yeah, just let
Then
me
you're gonna
pay
have
the
some left
exact
over.
amount. I hate that.
Nah, man, that system ain't never going away. COD does
No,
that
it ain't.
So
same.
annoying.
COD does that same thing. It's to get you to pay more. You're like, oh, I got this
And
this
then you'll
left
have a
over.
little
May
bit
as well
left
just
over, yeah.
right.
I think
the cycle continues.
hell no, and they get you with that first purchase too. You'd be like, it's only $4. That's not that big of a deal. Next thing you know, you're $45 deep, and you're like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah.
Hey, I
That's
could
how they
spend
get you.
$45 on this and still be happier than the money I spent on Suicide Squad.
That is true.
Jesus.
That is true. I would still be happy.
That's the thing.
Yep.
I paid so much to review that, and oh my gosh, I haven't touched it.
Yep,
I would
that was
gladly,
pain.
yeah, I
Me
would
neither.
gladly
I
pick up this game again and play some more.
haven't even thought about Suicide Squad other than in hatred and anger.
God. Glad I
Um,
never played.
Also, I wanted to mention something that pissed me off is that if you unlock a paint if you unlock paint within the game, you try to apply it to a skin. You can't apply that same paint to a different skin.
Oh yeah, it's like
locked to that
tied to
skin.
the skin. Yeah, that's
Yes,
stupid.
I hate that. That's stupid. That's
That's like
that-
one of those little petty things where it's just like
Yes.
nickel and dime you for real.
right.
A character is one
also-
thing, but
I like
paints-
that you can't do
But
that.
one-use paints, no. One-use paint, no.
That's right, man. That's the way it is.
You're crazy.
Real life. You
He's
paint
just
that
talking
wall?
now. Take his mic away. Also, ultimate versions of characters cost like 55, almost $60. Price of a full game. Which I guess, like, go for it. I guess I'm pretty sure those bunnies. If a suit could sell out digitally, that bunny suit would have already been gone.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they're nickel and diming you, microtransactions. But if you're good with your money, which most of you aren't, you shouldn't have to spend too much on the game. I also didn't like the fact that they have time savers in the game. They have it in a tab called convenience, which I don't
Okay.
like. It's just like weapon XP, character XP. I'm like, okay, like I know there's no PvP, so it's not really pay to win, but I still don't like it.
Mm.
But what would you give it if you could, if you know, a rating? It is a free game, but
First
it still deserves
impressions?
a rating. Yeah.
As a first impression, because like I said, I only played 8 hours, so I mean, I'm sure there's so much more as far as like end game content and stuff to go through,
Yeah.
and a lot of other characters. I give it a 7. It's free. I like it. I had fun.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Thinking of
I
7.
think 7's solid.
You sure you don't want to give it an 8? You're over there congratulating them for locking paint.
Oh
You
my
know what?
gosh.
Let them get a paint that I really like.
7.5.
It'd be a
Oh my
9. It'd be a 9 real quick.
We'll
Hey,
keep
you know what?
it
Let me turn Ajax body armor black and gold. That should be an
Oh my
11. Let you know
God.
right
My
now.
gosh.
Man, y'all hate. You know that would be fire. I don't want to hear it.
Get me off this podcast.
All right, bye.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments what you think of the First Descendant. Is this something that's going to be in your rotation with your own friends? Let us know. X, sign us out.
Bye.